The story opens with a ridiculously handsome boy named Colleen, a kid so good-looking that he literally has to hide his face every time he steps outside, because if any girl sees him, she instantly falls head over heels in love. Not in a cute way, in a crazy, nosebleed-obsessed kind of way. And trust me, Colleen absolutely hates this, so he spends most of his time locked inside his house. He's the youngest son of the Mass family, a family blessed by God with unfair levels of good looks. Colleen tells us that his older brother Okis is also insanely handsome, a massive social media celebrity with millions of followers, mostly girls who can't stop simping over him. Okis even helps people set up dates, almost like a handsome matchmaker. Their dad Parker, also known as the Heartbreaker, was famous for dating 1,200 girls back in his youth, and Okis is determined to break that record. But everything changed the day Parker met Jessica, a stunning woman with a tiny mustache, and somehow that made her even more attractive to him. Meanwhile, Colleen studies from home, and whenever he steps outside, even for groceries, girls literally form a line behind him. The whole Mass family fully believes that they're blessed with extreme beauty and that God simply made them different. But Colleen, he hates all of it. That's why he almost never goes out. He's a brilliant student, but he refuses to go to school, and as a result, he has no friends. His parents and Okis constantly worry that loneliness will eventually drive him crazy, and to be honest, some of his habits are already strange. He talks to fish and plays games alone while pretending he has teammates. Okis says, maybe we should get him a cat, but Jessica replies, it's not that simple. He needs to go out, meet people, live a normal life. Parker adds, I've tried getting him into national sports events, but he always refuses. Okis even tried setting him up on a date with his girlfriend's sister, but Colleen didn't care. When Okis asks, what kind of girl do you even want? Colleen calmly answers, she should be cute, kind, smart, and most importantly, she must have zero interest in me. Okis is speechless. How is he supposed to find a girl who doesn't like his brother? No matter what they tried, they just couldn't get Colleen out of the house. So Jessica comes up with a plan, a full-on stage drama. We'll pretend we can't afford his homeschooling anymore. That night, when Colleen comes out to get water, Okis signals his parents to start the act. They begin arguing loudly. We can't pay for his homeschool anymore. His last semester cost way too much. We might have to sell our things. And from now on, breakfast will be nothing but eggs and lentils. Hearing all this, Colleen breaks down in tears, and Okis realizes the plan has worked. The next morning, Colleen comes to them crying and says, I'm so sorry, I never wanted to be a burden. Please don't sell anything because of me. I'll go to school for my final semester. Okis is thrilled until Colleen adds, but I'll only go to an all-boys school. No girls, no trouble. Jessica and the entire family immediately agree, because at least now, Colleen will finally step out, meet people, and maybe, just maybe, have a normal life. And finally, the day arrives. The day Colleen has to go to school. Okis drives him on his bike, and right before they reach the gate, he says, dude, at least take off the helmet. But Colleen refuses. His plan is simple. He'll wear the helmet all day long so no one sees his face, and no girl ends up nosebleeding to death. But the moment he walks into Horidson High School, his plan backfires completely. Instead of ignoring him, every student starts staring at him even more, because who enters a school looking like a mystery biker? Colleen sits on the very last bench, hoping no one bothers him. The teacher walks in and instantly freezes. A kid sitting in class with a full motorcycle helmet, not normal. She asks his name. Colleen answers, but because of the helmet, she can't hear a word. She snaps, this isn't a racetrack, young man. Take that helmet off. Colleen slowly lifts it off and cut to ambulance sirens. Yup, the teacher went completely crazy after seeing his face. Smiling nonstop, frozen like a statue. They had to rush her to the hospital. The principal is losing his mind. He asks, what on earth just happened? The students explain, that new kid, he's insanely handsome. The teacher just couldn't handle it. Colleen overhears this, panics, and tries to escape, but suddenly, someone kicks his leg, and he falls to the ground. The school bully, a guy named CD. CD runs the biggest bully group in school. He tortures every new kid who joins. CD and his two goons drag Colleen into a dusty storage room. When Colleen wakes up, he sees something even weirder. These three bullies actually call themselves a superhero team. Their team name? 3TAC. CD is the leader. The other members are Erno and Dicky. CD asks, do you know why we brought you here? Colleen innocently says, no. CD explains, we need to send a message to a girl. Her name is Amanda. She's the top model girl from BBM school. And every year we try to invite her school to our prom, but they never approve it. Because of that, we haven't graduated for 3 years. CD desperately wants to go to prom, but Amanda only accepts proposals from handsome boys' schools. So now CD wants Colleen to deliver a prom proposal to Amanda on behalf of their school. In other words, use his face as a weapon. There's also another student in the room, a sweet innocent guy named Kibo. CD bullies him too and forces him to help Colleen with the mission. CD warns, if you fail, I'll do to you what I did to this helmet. Colleen decides he'll report CD to the principal. Kibo tries to stop him, but Colleen won't listen. They reach the principal's office and Colleen tells the whole story. But the principal takes CD's side. That's when he reveals the twist. CD is actually his youngest son, and he's been failing for 3 years, all because he can't attend the prom. The principal threatens, "You will do this task for my son, or I'll make sure you fail this year." That evening, Kibo and Colleen sit outside the school gate. Kibo brings him a cold drink and says softly, "If we want to pass, we have to complete CD's mission." Colleen finally agrees, and for the first time ever, he feels something warm inside, because he realizes Kibo is his first real friend, and that thought makes him genuinely happy. The next day, Colleen and Kibo finally arrive at Brain Beauty Manor, the famous BBM girls' school. This place is so elite, the girls can literally smell the presence of a boy from miles away. The moment Colleen steps inside, hundreds of girls rush out of their classrooms. They see a guy wearing a helmet and instantly assume the worst. Ugh, who allowed an ugly boy into our school? Take that helmet off, that's the rule. The girls surround him from every side, forcing him to remove it. Slowly, hesitantly, Colleen lifts his helmet, and boom, his charm flashes across the entire campus like a nuclear blast. The girls get so overwhelmed that the very next shot is a massive explosion. Straight up anime-level chaos. Cut to the news channel. The reporter says girls were driven insane by his charm. Some fainted, some bled from the nose. Nobody has ever seen a boy this handsome. And just like that, the world gives him a new title, Too Handsome to Handle. The boy no girl can emotionally survive. Meanwhile, across town, we see Amanda inside her makeup van during a photo shoot. She watches the news, and a slow smile appears on her face. Amanda, the reigning most beautiful girl of BBM and a rising model, has finally found a boy who can match her beauty. She decides, no matter what I have to do, I will get Colleen. But this sudden fame creates chaos at the Moss family home. Girls from every neighborhood surround their house, screaming to catch a glimpse of him. And the Moss family? Yeah, they turn it into a full business. Parker sets up a ticket counter outside, charging girls for house tours and access to Colleen's childhood memories. Jessica becomes a tour guide. The family starts earning a fortune. But Colleen, he's running home trying to hide from the crowd when he sees the news. He sees his own family using him for money, and his heart breaks. He realizes maybe they never cared about his loneliness. Maybe they just wanted his charm to make them famous. At that exact moment, the girls spot him. He panics and runs, climbing onto a rooftop, exhausted, confused, and heartbroken. His phone rings. It's O'Keefe. But when Colleen sees the crowd still screaming outside his house, he whispers, "You betrayed me," and hangs up. And then he makes the darkest decision of his life. He walks to the edge of the roof and prepares to jump. But just then, a voice stops him. "Hey, if you want to die, fine, but don't do it in front of me." Her name is Rear, and what shocks him isn't her voice. It's the fact that his charm has zero effect on her. For the first time in his life, a girl isn't blushing, isn't nosebleeding, isn't obsessed. Colleen asks, "You don't feel anything when you look at me?" Rear frowns, thinking he's insane, and she walks away. But Colleen's heart beats wildly. For the first time ever, he feels real love. But sadly, Rear feels nothing for him. Colleen goes to live at Kibo's house. "You can stay here as long as you want." The next day, Colleen and Kibo return to BBM. They finally meet Amanda and hand her CD's prom proposal file. Amanda pretends she isn't impressed by Colleen's looks, acting cool and uninterested. But the moment he walks out, even Amanda gets a nosebleed. His charm is unstoppable. Colleen then spots his crush Rear in the hallway. But before he can reach her, a swarm of girls blocks his way. He loses sight of her. Later that day, Kibo and Colleen sit together on a curb, talking. They've become genuine friends now. Kibo takes him to a small shop, saying he wants to show him something. Turns out, there's a girl Kibo really likes. A girl who works at that shop, a girl named Rear. He introduces her to Colleen, and at that moment, Colleen realizes the truth. Kibo has liked Rear long before he ever showed up. They eat dinner together. They talk for hours. They're close, very close. And Colleen quietly feels his heart sink. And now, something new starts growing inside Colleen. Jealousy, the kind that keeps you awake all night. He can't focus. He can't sleep. All he can think about is Rear and Kibo. He finally realizes only one person can help him now. His brother O'Keefe, the self-proclaimed love guru. So Colleen secretly books a meeting through O'Keefe's love website. The next day they meet at a restaurant. The moment O'Keefe sees him, he almost cries out of excitement. He's been waiting years to give his little brother love advice. Even mom and dad show up. And surprisingly, Colleen forgives them. He says, "If you hadn't sent me to school, I would have never met Rear." The next day as they shop for groceries, O'Keefe multitasks, picking vegetables with one hand and giving How to Impress Girls 101 notes with the other. But something darker forms in Colleen's mind. He thinks, if I can separate Rear from Kibo, maybe she'll choose me. And then suddenly, Amanda arrives at their school. Every guy loses his mind, but she walks straight to Colleen, hands him a birthday party invitation, and gives him a brand new iPhone. Later that night, Kibo, Rear, and Colleen go to a club together. Colleen tries tries to bond with Rear, but she only pays attention to Kibo. She sings for him, laughs with him, and Colleen feels a sharp sting in his heart. When Kibo steps away for a minute, Colleen asks bluntly, "Do you like Kibo?" Rear immediately denies it, but the moment he tells her, Kibo actually likes Amanda, Rear's smile disappears. Her expression says it all. She does like Kibo, and that realization crushes Colleen. Agrees instantly. The next day, a glamorous, star-filled party unfolds. Music, lights, crowds. Amanda welcomes Colleen and Kibo with a warm smile. Then, according to the plan, she starts acting like she's in love with Kibo. She pulls him aside and kisses him. Riri arrives at that exact moment. She sees it. She freezes. Her heart shatters. She runs out of the party in tears. Colleen follows her. Riri sobs. "I thought Kibo was different, that he didn't judge girls by their beauty. But in the end, all boys are the same." And Colleen takes advantage of the moment. "I'm not like that. I'm not like them." And he confesses his love, but Riri takes a deep breath and says softly, "I've only ever seen you as a friend." She walks away, and this time, it's Colleen's heart that breaks. He betrayed his friend and still didn't get the girl. Meanwhile, CD and his gang are also at the party, and when CD sees Amanda kissing Kibo, he loses it because CD secretly loves Amanda too. He corners Kibo in the parking lot and beats him up brutally. Colleen watches, but he's too scared to step in. In the end, he takes the injured Kibo home. Kibo's grandma cries as she bandages her grandson. Kibo then quietly gives Colleen a rare collectible card, something Colleen has wanted since childhood. That's when it hits him. Kibo truly saw him as his best friend, and guilt crushes him. Colleen confesses everything: the plan, the lie, the manipulation. Kibo explodes. "If you had just told me you liked Riri, I never would have stood in your way. But the mistake was mine for thinking you were my best friend. Get out and never show me your face again." And with that, Colleen loses the only real friend he ever had. Weeks pass. Colleen finally returns home. Mom, Dad, and Okies cry with happiness, but he doesn't say a single word. He walks straight to his room. He goes back to school, but can't gather the courage to talk to Kibo. They see each other in the halls, but never speak. Their friendship is gone, replaced by silence and resentment. After everything that happened, Colleen becomes quiet, empty, almost hollow. He barely talks, barely eats, and his parents can see the loneliness eating him alive. One evening, his mom steps into his room and says softly, "Your fish is still alive, and we were never bankrupt. It was all just an act." Colleen looks shocked. "Why would you lie to me?" His mother's eyes fill with tears, because every parent wants their child to be happy, to have friends, to share their feelings with someone. "We just wanted you to live a real life, not hide alone in your room forever." Those words hit him hard. Memories flash, every moment with Kibo, every laugh, every problem they faced together. Colleen realizes that Kibo was there for him, in every good moment, and every painful one too. He gets emotional and hugs his mom. She says gently, "If you were already happy with us, we would never force you to go out again." But Colleen knows the truth now. He knows who he hurt and who he needs to fix things with. The next day, he goes straight to Riri. He tells her everything, the truth behind the prank, the manipulation, the misunderstandings, because after that night, even Riri and Kibo stop talking. Then he heads to Kibo's house. Kibo opens the door but refuses to look at him. Colleen says, "Why are you punishing Riri for something I did? She loves you." Kibo's voice breaks. "I love her too. I always have, but I'll never be able to tell her. I'm scared." Colleen asks softly, "What do you really feel about her?" And suddenly, Kibo opens up. He talks about Riri's kindness, her smile, her laugh, how she's different from everyone else. "She's the most special girl in the world, and I love her more than anything." Just then, Colleen turns the phone around. Riri is on video call, listening to everything. Her eyes fill with tears, and finally, she smiles. And that moment rebuilds everything. The friendship, the trust, the bond. Colleen and Kibo become best friends again. A few days later, the big high school prom begins. Lights, music, excitement everywhere. Colleen walks in with Amanda, while Kibo arrives with Riri. Kibo and Riri put in one earbud each, listen to the same song, and dance together, smiling like they're in their own little world. Meanwhile, Colleen and Amanda walk on stage. Their combined beauty is unmatched. They win the titles of Prom King and Prom Queen. The crowd cheers. Amanda glows with pride, but Colleen, his heart still beats for Riri. He looks across the dance floor, sees her smiling with Kibo, and smiles softly himself. Maybe she was never meant for him. Maybe she was always meant for his best friend. But for the first time, Colleen feels something real. Peace, a quiet happiness. This is what love looks like. Not winning someone, but seeing the people you care about finally happy. If this story pulled you in, hit subscribe and join our movie recap family. And hey, if you felt something along the way, share this video with someone who loves a good story too.